tough act to follow. Ken Berger, Bleacher Report. I guess in your career, LeBron, this started with the Celtics getting Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. And then you go to Miami with D. Wade and Chris to try to take those guys out. And you come back here with Kyrie and Kevin, and the next thing you know, the Warriors have Kevin Durant. How do you view that dynamic, that where players, superstars in this league, are able to kind of control their own destiny to some degree? Or is there a level of disappointment, having now been maybe on the other side of that a little bit, that you put in all this work to put a team together and build it a certain way and put in all the work, and someone just comes along and puts something else together that might be better?
Yeah. I mean, that's the challenge. I mean, that's the challenge in this league, and I think every GM and every president and every coaching staff is trying to figure out a way how they can make up the right mashup to compete for a championship and win a championship. So, like you said before, I felt like my first stint here, I just didn't have the level of talent to compete versus the best teams in the NBA, let alone just Boston. When you looked at, Rondo and KG and Paul and Ray, you knew there were great basketball players, but not only great basketball players, you've seen their minds were in it too when you were playing them. They were calling out sets. Rondo, Rondo was calling out sets every time you come down, and you're like, okay, this is bigger than basketball. So not only do you have to have the talent, you got to have the minds as well. So, I knew that my talent level here in Cleveland couldn't succeed getting past the Boston, getting past, the San Antonios of the league and whatever the case may be. So I played with D. Wade. I played with Bosh. In the Olympics, I knew D. Wade for years. I knew their minds. I knew, how they thought the game more than just playing the game. Obviously, we all knew their talent, but I knew their minds as well. So, I linked up with them. We went to Miami, got some other great minds, and Mike Miller, and, UD is a great mind, but also a competitor and guys that with talent. So, you build that talent. So that's what you want to try to do. And then you come here and, I knew Kyrie having the talent. I wanted to try to build his mind up, to try to fast track his mind, because I feel like in order to win, you got to have talent, but you got to be very cerebral too. I mean, there's so many. Listen, we're all NBA players. Everybody know how to put the ball in the hoop, but who can think throughout the course of the game? And this is so challenging for me to sit up here and say, because of people who really don't know the game, don't really know what I'm talking about. They just think that you just go out and like, oh, LeBron, you're bigger and faster and stronger than everybody. You should drive every single time, and you should dunk every single play, and you should never get tired. Never. Like it's a video game, and you went on the options, and you turned down fatigue all the way to 0 and injuries all the way down to 0. So we come back here, and we get the minds, and we build a championship team. And then Golden State, because of Steph's injuries early on in his career, his contract situation, and then them drafting Draymond and drafting Clay, and them being under the contracts they were in, allowed their franchise to go out to get KD. And so they win a championship, and then we play them, and we come back from 3-1, and we beat them. But that was the best regular season, probably the best team I had ever played against. They go 73-9, and then you add one of the best players that the NBA has ever seen. So now everyone's trying to figure that out. How do you put together a group of talent, but also a group of minds as well, to be able to compete with Golden State, to be able to compete for a championship? So that's what GMs and presidents and certain players. It's not every player. Every player does not want to. I'm sad to say, but every player don't want to compete for a championship and be in a position where every possession is pressure. You got to follow up, it looks like.
I do. You mentioned in your first part of your answer, when you were here the first time, you came to the conclusion you didn't have enough. I'm not trying to get you to say anything negative about anybody, but how do you feel now?
You actually are trying to get me to say something?
I don't know what your answer is.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm living in the moment now. I went back for your question. We've had an opportunity to win 2 of these games in this 3-game series so far, and we haven't come up with it. Obviously, from a talent perspective, if you're looking at Golden State, from their top 5 best players to our top 5 players, you would say that they're stacked better than us. I mean, let's just speak truth. Kevin Durant and You got two guys with MVPs on their team, and then you got a guy in Clay who could easily be on a team and carry a team, score 40 in a quarter before. And then you have Draymond, who's arguably one of the best defenders and minds that we have in our game. So you have that crew. And then you add on a finals MVP coming off the bench, a number one pick in Livingston, an all-star in David West, and whatever case may be. So they have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent as well. But we've been in a position where we've could win 2 out of these 3 games. So what do we have to do? Is it we have to make more shots? Is it we have to have our minds into it a little bit more? Is it, if there's a ball on the ground, we can't reach for it, you got to dive for it. When you're playing, like I stated last night, or like 12 hours ago, was it 12 hours ago? Like the room for error versus a team like this is slim to none. And I think I said last night, it's like playing the Patriots, it's like playing San Antonio. The room for error is slim to none. And when you make mistakes, they make you pay because they're already more talented than you are. But they also